Lizzie Borden house is a bed and breakfast, but in the Victorian age, this house was owned to Andrew and Abby Borden. Andrew had two daughters, Emma and Lizzie Borden, who were the stepdaughters of Abby. On August 4th, 1892, Lizzie found her father dead in the sitting room. He had suffered several blows to the head from what was believed to have been from a hatchet. Lizzie then yelled to the maid, "Bridget, come quick! Someone has killed father!" After the police had arrived, the maid and a neighbor went upstairs to look for Abby. Halfway up the stairs at eye level, they looked into the guest room and saw Abby's body lying on the floor. She had also suffered blows to the head from what appeared to have been from a hatchet. Lizzie's sister Emma was out of town that day on a personal trip, and the police were skeptic with Lizzie's whereabouts at the time of the murders. She had claimed that she was in the barn eating pears. And it was no secret that Lizzie disliked her stepmother and hated her father for being so stingy with his money, so she was brought into custody. On June 5th, 1893, Lizzie went to trial, but the prosecutors couldn't prove that the hatchet found in the Borden basement was the murder weapon, and they found no blood on Lizzie's clothing, even though witnesses said that she had burned a dress prior to her arrest, that Lizzie claimed that she got wet paint on. On June 20th, the jury found Lizzie not guilty of the murders. The two sisters then had moved into a new modern house that they bought with their father's inheritance, but shortly after, Emma had moved out and never saw her sister Lizzie again. On June 1st, 1927, Lizzie Borden died of pneumonia. So here we are at Oak Grove Cemetery, where the Lizzie Borden family is buried. So we're about to head in, and we're going to ask Lizzie Borden that famous question: was she guilty of her father Andrew and her stepmother Abby's murder? So on Google it says they painted arrows on the ground leading to her grave, but we don't see no arrows. And all the plots actually look like that. Let's see, that looks like this. Oh, found it.
Lizzie Borden. Oh shit.
There it is. Andrew and Sarah Borden. Alright, Sarah was her real mother's name.
The spiders over it too is awesome.
I know, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Lizzie Borden, 1860 to 1927. And actually she was in the old Taunton State Hospital while she was on trial for the murder of her parents. So Andrew and Sarah Borden. Sarah was Lizzie and Emma's real mother. And then you got Elizabeth Andrews Borden and her sister Emma Borden. And Emma and Lizzie's stepmom, Abby Borden. So the grid is going to set up, and Seneca had a good idea to leave the little recorder in front of the stone.
Yes.
Alright. Lizzie! Is it true you killed your mother and father? Were you wrongfully accused?
Why'd you do it?
Lizzie, can you step in front of this device? Is the rest of the Borden family here with us tonight?
Can you two step
Wow,
up?
I heard multiple voices on this.
Oh, no way.
And the temperature just dropped too. Emma, why did you choose to vacate your home where you and your sister Lizzie were living? Did you find out some information about your family's murder?
Or did you, in fact, have something to do with it?
She was out of town. But she could have. She could have helped plan it out. Emma, did you have something to do with the murder? Is that why you were out of town that day? Andrew Borden, can you tell me who murdered you? Abby, are you here with us tonight? Can you tell us if Lizzie murdered you? I think she just said no.
I heard that, yeah. Sound like no.
Andrew, did Lizzie murder you?
Or was it the maid?
Was it the maid Bridget who murdered you?
And plain Lizzie?
I could have sworn I just heard another voice that said no.
Me too, I heard no.
Because some of the Borden family stepped toward this device? That's not screaming.
Lizzie, can you tell me what your life was like?
There's like three cold spots in here.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So Dominic noticed that the GS2 laser grid had a couple cold spots, and the temperature on this meter just dropped. It's actually at 66.9 degrees now. Lizzie, can you walk towards me? Can any member of the Borden family walk towards us? So there's the arrows. So instead of sitting around one spot, we're going to go explore the cemetery. Because cemeteries are creepy. Alright, this just looks creepy right here. Is there anyone out here tonight that can speak with us? We're friendly people. We just have a lot of questions. Is anyone with the Borden family on the other side? Maybe you know who killed Andrew and Abby? Do you not want us here? Is it alright if we're here tonight?
Right here tonight? Out here walking around?
I know, I just didn't...
You heard that, right?
Yeah. When you asked that, I heard yeah on the spirit box.
You out here walking around?
Can you tell us where you're walking?
62.9.
You walk with my light?
Can anybody walk by that grid? Yeah, it did get colder all of a sudden. And the temperature's fluctuating.
Yeah.
You want to go this right here?
Is it alright if we visit your plot over here? Look how old these stones are. One of them even fell down. What?
Someone said hello to me.
Someone said hello?
Yeah.
Oh shit. No way.
Can you speak back with us? You asked if someone was talking?
Yeah, and it said yeah. And I said, who said yeah? And they said me.
So they said, yeah, me. Who's me? Can you tell us your name?
If someone's here, what is your name?
That's weird. An EMF reading just fluctuated. It didn't go up that high. It went by too quick. I didn't get a chance to read the spike. But the swing did definitely spike. Does anybody here know who was responsible for the Borden family murder?
There, no, right?
Yeah.
You said no?
Someone was following me. So as I walked down, something behind me like made like a twig. Like a snap behind me.
Is there any twigs? Actually, there is a twig over here. Right here. There's a twig right there, too. So, where were you? Standing, like, right here?
Yeah, as I was coming down here, as I got right here, I was following you guys.
Did
By
anybody
myself with this light right here.
Yeah.
Looking to see if I could see anything.
And somebody stepped on that twig?
Yeah, so I was saying something twig, I looked behind me and nothing was there. I even did it with this and I still didn't see anything. So I was like,
Where are you?
you hear things like walking around. It really sounds like faintly, but you hear things walking around, sounds like.
So we're wondering if his body is in there. Because that looks like a coffin. I think it is a coffin. He was very short, though.
Yeah, as I said, it was on like 4'11". Not even. This is Turner.
Can you knock back? So we're trying to find our way back to the Borden plot, but we're lost. So we literally just went around in circles and still can't find this stone. None of this even looks familiar.
No, I don't.
There's only one part of the cemetery that has the arrows on the ground. This part don't. This is weird.
Is that a tree? What? Borden.
Oh, it's not real. It's a stone.
What? That was just. Holy
Wow.
shit. It's Borden though.
Yeah.
Wow, huh?
So after an hour of walking, we finally found it again.
Ta-da!
There it is. That was a little bit of an obstacle course, huh?
Hell yeah, we found it though.
Can any member of the Borden family step in front of that device? Maybe touch it?
Lizzie, did you use that axe to murder your parents? Is the saying true?
Are you getting along with your family now? On the other side?
Are you in peace now?
Abby, do you forgive Lizzie if she committed your murder? Andrew, did you make amends with Lizzie? Alright, so you guys ready?
Yep.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna try enticing her. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Can you give us a sign if you're with us? Lizzie, I'm Harry. That's Seneca and Dominic. Can you talk to us? We'll go away. We just want to know if the story's true. Were you guilty?
Did Bridget kill her instead of you?
Is Bridget guilty? Can you touch that device?
Sound like yes. Yeah, right?
Can you touch it? Abby, why did Lizzie hate you so much? Was her and her sister Emma jealous that you spent way too much time with her father?
Emma, do you know if she's guilty or not?
Can Emma speak with us?
Lizzie, did you make it to heaven or hell?
Elizabeth and her sister Emma. Emma, do you know anything? If you think about it, she might have offed her mother so that way she would inherit her father's money when he died, not her mother. But I wonder why the maid wasn't a suspect.
Maybe she was.
They say Lizzie was in the barn eating fruit when it happened. And the police were very suspicious about her story. And Emma was out of town. So maybe Emma had something to do with it, but she was kind of, you know, scared.
Yeah.
So she told Lizzie, you know, I'm going to go out of town. You know,
And
you can...
left Lizzie there to
I want no
pretty much
part
take
of
the blame.
it, but maybe, yeah, maybe she left Lizzie there to blame. Maybe she wanted no part of it, but she was kind of in on it.
She knew a little bit of something, and she...
Maybe she helped her plot it out, but she got cold feet at the last minute, and that's why she left town.
Yeah. And have Lizzie pretty much take all the blame.
Lizzie, if you're innocent, can you give us a sign, any sign at all, and we'll go away? If you were guilty, can you give us a sign? Abby, if your stepdaughter Lizzie killed you, can you give us a sign? Abby, if Lizzie was innocent, can you give us a sign? So here we are at the Lizzie Borden house in Fall River, Massachusetts. And I was actually here probably around 14 years ago with an ex-girlfriend. We actually took a tour inside this house. You can kind of see them, but the curtains are closed. Well, we didn't get the answers to our questions that we were looking for. As a matter of fact, we got a lot of no responses, and we don't know if that's in reference to no, we don't know if she's guilty, or no, we just don't feel like answering you. As a matter of fact, one spirit told us twice to just go. Can you tell us if Lizzie murdered you? Was it the maid Bridget who murdered you?
And claimed Lizzie?
Maybe you know who killed Andrew and Abby? Do you not want us here? Now, this is very interesting. When I went back and reviewed the footage, we picked up a voice on the spirit box that said, Lizzie with God, followed by a voice that said, yup. Let's check that out. So who knows? Maybe Lizzie made peace with her family on the other side. And I feel as if these spirits are trying to let us know that she's with God now, and all her sins are forgiven, and they're trying to respect the family's wishes to just keep this tragedy behind them. Okay, so there's this saying that Lizzie gave her mother 40 whacks and her father 41. However, though, the correct number of whacks were actually 19 and 11. I'm not really sure where they came up with 40 and 41. Maybe because it rhymes and it sounds cool. However, though, we did try enticing the Borden family with that saying. And, well, we picked up a male's voice on the spirit box that came through, calling us a bitch. Now, my jaw dropped when I went back and reviewed the footage and heard that. I actually feel as if it was the voice of Andrew Borden. Let's check that out. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. So we definitely achieved our goal of pissing off Mr. Borden. It was said that he was a mean old man. As a matter of fact, during Lizzie's trial, she brought up the fact that she was a pigeon keeper, and one day her father went into the barn and killed all her pigeons. Now, the EMF meter spiked, and Seneca said he heard someone behind him stepping on a twig. That's weird. An EMF reading just fluctuated. It didn't go up that high.
So as I walked down, something behind me like made a twig. Like a snap behind me.
Is there any twigs? Actually, there is a twig over here. Right here. So, was Lizzie actually guilty? Well, you gotta take into consideration a couple things. She hated her stepmother. It was no secret that her father was cheap. As a matter of fact, she even uses inheritance money to live more modern. And number 3, she was still living at home as an adult, and she wasn't married. And back then, that was very uncommon. So it was actually said that Lizzie might not have been attracted to men, and her and the maid Bridget might have had a little something going on. And maybe one morning, her stepmother Abby walked in and caught them two in bed together and threatened to tell, and that's when Lizzie snapped and decided to off her mother and her father. But that's just one theory. So unfortunately, it will always remain a mystery unsolved.